Hello YouTube and welcome back to Season 8, Episode 3 of Tomorrow's Talk Today. I'm your host, Claudia Wellman, and today I'm joined by panelists Ryan Forrest and Jordan Epps. On today's episode, we'll be discussing advertising in America. Ads are constantly recycled in the same material and celebrity talents are featured everywhere. And our guests today have watched and analyzed a plethora of videos on the topic. To begin our discussion, let's take a quick look at a clip entitled, How Inflation and Supply Chain Issues Are Reshaping Fast Food Value Menus.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage croissant plus seasoned potatoes for just $3. It's the kind of breakfast that really sticks with you, especially if you're Tyler.
Taking my time, on my mind, baby.
Tyler,
Ah,
our breakfast.
oh.
If you want a better breakfast you'll never forget, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Companies would use ads like the one from Wendy's we just saw in order to boost their sales and recognition from the public. Jordan, what do you think are some of the biggest impacts we've seen from fast food advertising?
I think the sales speak for themselves for specific fast food places, I guess, that are having new and different ads that are bringing people in. But, I mean, other than the sales, I can't really think of anything specific. But.
And what do you think fast food advertising, how does it make that company successful?
I think getting the word out about new products and finding entertaining ways to tell people about what they have and their company as a whole is really helpful.
And Ryan, what do you think about how, like, what does production value do to increase the ads, like productivity or being able to sell the product?
I absolutely think that production value has a big role to play in all of that, because if the right lighting, the right shot composure is done on the product itself, then people are going to look at that and be like, wow, that's a beautiful burger or sandwich or whatever. And then what that's going to do is it's going to put more eyes on it from consumers, and then they're more likely to go and purchase the product itself.
And why do you guys think that people keep coming back to these products from food porn?
I think if it looks good, people are going to buy it, especially when they're using things that aren't even edible to make it look so good. And like Ryan just said, the lighting and the way it's shot can make something seem really appealing. And if you get that craving from seeing one of those commercials or ads, you're going to want to go get it.
Yeah, and do you think there's anything that makes fast food advertising unsuccessful?
I think redundancy. If you keep seeing that same commercial, I don't know how that works behind the scenes. I don't know how often commercials get shown or if companies really have a say in it. But whenever I see the same Burger King ad about the Whopper, it's gonna throw me off. Yeah, it's a catchy jingle, but I just keep seeing the same commercial over and over again. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so what do people want to see in regards to these advertisements with food porn? There's a lot of masculinity shown within these advertisements. Is that something that you think people are looking to see in advertisements?
I don't know if people are looking for it per se. I think it's definitely if it sells, it sells. A lot of commercials are catered towards men in a certain way with a sex aspect to it, I guess. But I guess you just look at the way people react to different forms of the media that these companies are producing, and they see that the ones that are catered more towards men probably make more sales.
Yeah, I think that the ones that are catered towards men do probably make more sales, but I feel like they also have a good amount of advertisements that reach a larger audience as well.
Mm-hmm.
But those are my thoughts. So thank you all. Advertising sure has transformed the fast food and local restaurant industries. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Do you need B-roll for that next comm class project? If so, we've got that B-roll. Are you not Ryan Fletcher and you haven't attended every event? We've got that B-roll. Are you not Cole Pello and haven't taken photos of every event? We've got that B-roll. Do you need shots of students eating pizza or getting their Starbucks? What about some building signs? We've got that B-roll. Do you need shots of students pressing buttons? What about doing the other things that look techie? We've got that B-roll. Do you need shots of fall on campus or students making random mugs? We've got that B-roll. Do you need a shot of Taylor Reilly IV being inaugurated as the president of Longwood? No! That's not B-roll. That's too specific. Do you need random B-roll shots with the tripod left in the background? What you don't like about the tripod in the background? I just left it there and it was great. Next time you have a comm class project, remember, we've got that B-roll for the low, low price of $19.99. You can have access to all our library of B-roll. Call 434-395-2384 today before they sell out.
Welcome back. Next, we are going to be focusing on the use of sex in advertising. First, Ryan, sex has continued to be a staple in ads from larger companies. Why do you think they work or don't work as ads?
I do feel as though it's going back to the food porn. I don't think that it works now. I feel like in early 2010s, I think that absolutely worked. But now it does not. People are looking for more serious advertising, I guess. They're looking for, I think they're also looking for like quality over like quantity. They really want the food to be good. And if the advertising is creative, then that's what they're looking for. But if you're looking at like sex, people, they don't really want to see that stuff. I mean, look at Hardee's, for example, Hardee's and Carl's Jr. They basically in the early 2010s, they would just show women completely, basically naked, just eating a burger. And some guys, they loved watching that, but now you don't see that from Hardee's. It's just their food, like every other company.
Yeah, I definitely think the times have changed with those advertisements somewhat. Thank you, Ryan. Let's take a quick look at a clip that uses sex to sell a burger.
What's more American than a cheeseburger? This cheeseburger, loaded with a hot dog and potato chips. In the hands of all-American model Samantha Hoops. In a hot tub. In a pickup truck, driven by an American bull rider. On an aircraft carrier. Under the gaze of Lady Liberty. As she admires the most American thick burger. With a split hot dog and kettle-cooked potato chips on a fresh-baked bun. New at Carl's Jr.
There are certainly many facets of the use of sex in ads as well as celebrities in those ads. We'll be right back after a quick break. Okay, sorry. So the question is, how do you think advertisements sell towards female audience, and what does sex play a role in that for females?
Ooh. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of any ads that use like the sex sells in a way towards women. There definitely is somewhere that I just can't think of off the top of my head, but I don't know exactly what they use. Do you have any idea? Like, what do you think?
I know Ryan, I think, wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think that they do have some commercials like that for women. One that comes to my mind is Calvin Klein with Jeremy Allen White. All that he is doing is just wearing the Calvin Klein underwear, and he's just walking. Lots of women love that. So I do think that maybe not in food, but in other advertising, they do have that for women.
Yeah, and to play off of that, do you think people like seeing celebrities in advertisements? Do you think that helps sell the products more?
I think for certain people it does. Some people are more influenced when they see somebody that they feel a connection with or like they watched for a long time. But there's definitely other people that are like, oh, I could care less like if this person likes this product.
Yeah. What do you think the difference is between celebrities promoting a product and influencers promoting a product?
I think if it's a celebrity that's promoting a product, it's on a bigger platform. It's on a commercial, or it's a little subtle, like an Easter egg in like a movie or a show that they're a part of. But if it's an influencer, then it's really just something that they're promoting on their own personal platform, like TikTok or YouTube or whatever they stream. So I do think that whenever it comes to celebrities, people are more receptive, I guess. I think with influencers, people take that with a grain of salt. They know that they're really just doing it for money, and they don't really use the product.
Yeah. And do you think these advertisements affect the celebrities versus influencers differently?
I think so. Influencers are going to take whatever they can get a lot of the time to get that exposure, whereas celebrities can probably pick and choose what ads they want to represent or don't want to represent.
Yeah. And we'll be right back after a quick break to talk about when enough is enough. Up next, repetitive advertising.
Hey everyone, we're the Asian Student Involvement Association. We are a student-led organization on Longwood University's campus that was established in 2019. Ever since then, our goal has been to spread awareness on Asian-related social issues and share the many cultures Asia has to offer with the Longwood campus through events and general body meetings. We hold general body meetings bi-weekly on Monday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. in the Global Engagement Lounge in Langford 221. We celebrate and educate about many of the Asian holidays at our meetings. We also collaborate with other student-led organizations on campus. We participate in Oktoberfest and Spring Weekend by having a booth where we usually sell culturally appropriate drinks and food like bubble tea and onigiri. To learn more and stay updated, follow our social media at Longwood_Asia on Instagram and come by our general body meetings. See you there!
Thanks for sticking with us. To end our discussion today, let's take a quick look at the 2024 Super Bowl ad everyone is tired of.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. All of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Ooh, ooh, Tamu. Ooh, ooh, Tamu.
Download the Temu app and shop like a billionaire.
That Tumu ad aired a total of 6 times throughout this year's Super Bowl, and the internet went crazy about hearing the same jingle and message that night. Jordan, why do you think it received such a negative attention?
I think once you hear a jingle that many times, it's going to get old and irritating. And that's not just for the Temu. For some reason, I always thought it was Temu, but it's definitely Temu. You just get really tired of hearing it. It's like a nagging pain eventually.
Yeah, and some companies use this repetition to promote their advertisements. Do you think that that works? You said that it's a nagging pain, but do you think that that is an effective strategy?
It definitely sticks in your head. Like, that song is probably going to be stuck in my head the rest of the day. But it depends on if that ad that now is stuck in my head is going to make me go buy it or not. I'm not really sure.
And some companies have different versions of these advertisements. So an example of that would be Dunkings. Is that, do you think that that is effective? What are your thoughts on having multiple different ones? Is that as frustrating to hear, or?
I think that whenever companies are looking at this, when it comes to jingles, any kind of attention or publicity is good. They don't really care how redundant or repetitive that information is, as long as they know that, you know, people are thinking about their product. They're more than likely thinking that, like, sales are going to increase. I know Oreo, they do that with any kind of commercial that they do.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that jingles work? An example of that would be O'Reilly's.
I think back in the day when, like, all you could watch was, like, commercial TV and, like, the O'Reilly's Auto Parts song, or, like, the Liberty Mutual, I guess, jingle. Like, you didn't have any choice but to listen to them. But now you can go on Netflix or anything else, and you don't really see those commercials anymore, so they're not as effective as I think they used to be.
Yeah. And if is it too jarring if companies take parts that they had in their advertisements away? So let's say O'Reilly takes out their jingle. Do you think that you would still recognize that company, or would it be too jarring for them to do that?
It depends on the person, I think. I think most people can agree that, they at least know of O'Reilly's Auto Parts because it's a part of the jingle. So like you've thought of it before. But if they kept the jingle, people would appreciate it more because that's what I guess, whenever they think of O'Reilly's, they think of the jingle.
Mm-hmm.
And then same with the General.
Yeah.
And as viewers, what trends do you want to see stick around or leave?
I think the new and creative ideas, like there's a lot of commercials I feel like that have come recently that have multiple different versions of itself. Like the Dunkings, I guess. I haven't gotten a chance to see the different like sections of it, I guess. I know like one part of it was shown in the Super Bowl, but there was a much longer version, and then I think there was other bits and pieces, and I think that's really cool because like there's a whole story there. It's not just one short little repetitive instance.
Yeah. Ryan, what are your opinions on that?
Basically what Jordan was saying. I really do like the creativity aspect in it. I can't think of any other commercials that have that creativity, but I do want a commercial to stand out. Actually, yeah, there was a Super Bowl commercial that had Chris Evans and some other people talking about like they're parking a car, and they were using a Boston accent. And my mom, she absolutely loved that commercial. She was quoting it. And then the commercials this year, she was like, none of them stood out. So I definitely think that, especially in the Super Bowl, companies, they need to stand out in any way that they can.
Mm-hmm. I think that in my opinion, I've seen some ways of companies standing out. The primary one that comes to my mind, though, is Kanye West's advertisement in the Super Bowl, because it was different than what I would typically see. You see very high production values, and his was filmed on an iPhone. So I did think that was interesting because it did catch my attention. I also noticed some advertisements had photos used instead of video product, I guess, and that caught my attention as well. So thank you to our talent once again for today's discussion. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes today for their hard work to make today's production a success. Be sure to subscribe to Longwood Comm Studies on YouTube to get notifications when the next episode's streaming. I'm your host, Claudia, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Tomorrow's Talk Today.